Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the viewport of Earth's orbital command station, watching the massive alien vessel emerge from hyperspace. Its crystalline surface caught the sun's rays, fracturing them into a rainbow that would have been beautiful under different circumstances. Today, that light show felt more like the glint off an executioner's blade. "They're hailing us," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from his communication station. His voice remained steady, but his fingers twitched over the holographic controls. "Put them through," Chen ordered, squaring her shoulders. The air shimmered as the Galactic Council's representative materialized in holographic form. The Archon, as they called themselves, towered over the humans present. Its translucent body pulsed with patterns of light that their xenobiologists were still trying to decode. "Humanity," the Archon's voice resonated directly in their minds. "Your provisional membership status expires in 30 standard cycles. The Council requires proof of your species' value to the galactic community." Chen had expected this. What she hadn't expected was the scale of the challenge. The Archon's body flickered, projecting a hologram of a dying star. "Star HD 7249 will go supernova in precisely 29 cycles. Its explosion will devastate 3 inhabited systems. Prove your worth by preventing this catastrophe." The command center fell silent. Even the constant hum of equipment seemed muted. "You expect us to prevent a supernova?" Chen kept her voice level, though her mind raced through the implications. "That's beyond even the Council's capabilities." "Precisely." The Archon's lights pulsed in what their xenologists interpreted as satisfaction. "The Council doesn't expect success. We expect innovation. Show us something new, even in failure, or Earth will be quarantined. No trade, no travel, no communication with other worlds." After the Archon's hologram faded, Chen turned to her staff. "Get me Dr. Yuki Tanaka at the Quantum Physics Institute, and someone wake up the president." Within hours, humanity's best minds were connected via quantum link, their avatars gathering in a virtual war room. Dr. Tanaka's hologram paced restlessly, her silver hair shimmering with embedded neural interfaces. "They're testing us," Tanaka declared, her fingers manipulating complex equations in the air, "but not in the way they think they are." "Explain." President Garcia's avatar leaned forward, his weathered face grave. "The Council races achieve their technological advancement through careful, methodical steps. They think linearly." Tanaka's eyes gleamed. "But humans, we leap. We make connections they'd never consider. Remember how we solved faster-than-light travel?" Chen nodded. While other species had laboriously engineered their way through space-time, humanity had discovered that consciousness itself could be used to fold space. Their primitive meditation techniques, combined with quantum mechanics, had revolutionized interstellar travel. "So what's your proposal?" Chen asked, already suspecting she wouldn't fully understand the answer. Tanaka grinned, projecting a complex diagram. "We don't try to stop the supernova. We redirect it." The virtual room erupted in discussion. Quantum physicists argued with stellar engineers, while consciousness researchers debated with AI specialists. But unlike the Council races, who might have spent years reaching consensus, humanity's chaos had purpose. Within days, a plan emerged. It was audacious, probably impossible, and exactly what humanity needed. Project Lightbridge is approved, President Garcia announced to the global quantum network. "Every resource we have goes into this. We've got 29 cycles to prove humanity doesn't just deserve a place among the stars. We can help shape their future." The next weeks saw an unprecedented mobilization of human ingenuity. Traditional shipyards retooled to produce quantum resonators designed by AI systems that drew inspiration from ancient Buddhist mandalas. Consciousness researchers worked with quantum physicists to develop what they called psychic lenses, devices that could focus collective human thought into a force capable of influencing space-time itself. The Council races watched with a mixture of curiosity and dismissal. Their observers reported back on humanity's scattered approach, never realizing that what looked like disorder was actually innovation in its purest form. 20 days before the deadline, humanity launched their fleet, but instead of massive engineering platforms like the Council would have built, they sent small, agile ships. Each carried a crew trained in both quantum mechanics and meditation techniques, along with AI systems programmed to think in ways that even their creators found strange and beautiful. "The Council expects us to fail conventionally," Chen told the assembled fleet commanders. "They want to see us try their solutions and fall short. Instead, we're going to succeed unconventionally." As the ships took position around HD 7249, the Council's observation vessels maintained what they thought was a safe distance. They didn't realize that distance itself was about to become negotiable. "All ships, initiate light bridge protocols," Chen ordered from the flagship Quantum Dawn. "Consciousness synchronization in 3, 2, 1. Across the fleet, humans entered meditative states while AI systems monitored quantum fields. The psychic lenses began to glow, creating patterns in spacetime that the Council's sensors couldn't even detect. The star pulsed, its death throes beginning right on schedule. But as its core began to collapse, something unprecedented happened. The quantum resonators activated, their patterns matching the mandalas created by human consciousness. Space itself seemed to shiver. "Bridge integrity at 60% and holding," Rodriguez reported, his voice strained as he maintained both technical monitoring and meditation stance. "Quantum field coherence nominal." The star's death continued, but now its energy was being channeled. Not prevented, not stopped, but redirected through channels humans had created in the fabric of space-time itself. Channels that, according to Council science, couldn't possibly exist. From the observation vessels, the Council races watched in stunned silence as a star's death was transformed into something entirely new. The energy wasn't being contained, it was being repurposed, fed through human-created quantum bridges to power a network of artificial miniature suns that would sustain the threatened systems for millennia. "Light bridge network stable," Tanaka's voice came through the quantum link, tired but triumphant. "We did it. We actually did it." As the Council vessels approached for closer observation, Chen allowed herself a small smile. They had done more than save 3 star systems. They had demonstrated that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in matching the Council's methodical advancement, but in making impossible leaps that changed the rules entirely. The Archant hologram appeared on her bridge, its light patterns showing what their xenologists swore was confusion mixed with awe. "How?" it asked simply. "Human innovation," Chen replied. "We don't just solve problems. We transform them." As reports of their success spread across the galaxy, Chen knew this was just the beginning. Humanity hadn't just earned its place among the stars. They had proved they could help reshape the galaxy's future in ways the Council had never imagined. News of humanity's achievements spread through the galaxy like a quantum wave, leaving ripples of disbelief and concern in its wake. In the grand amphitheater of the Galactic Council's central station, representatives from 1,000 species debated the implications of what they'd witnessed. Dr. Yuki Tanaka sat quietly in the observer section, her neural interfaces recording everything. The Council had invited her to explain humanity's breakthrough, but she recognized an interrogation when she saw one. The Nexus, a collective consciousness that represented the oldest species in the galaxy, spoke first. Their avatar manifested as a shifting constellation of light points. "Your solution violated 3 fundamental laws of physics." "No," Tanaka corrected, standing. "It violated 3 laws as you understood them." She projected a hologram of the Lightbridge network. "We simply discovered that your understanding was incomplete." Murmurs rippled through the assembly. The Archon's crystalline form pulsed with agitation. "Explain how consciousness could possibly influence quantum fields at a stellar scale." Tanaka smiled. "How does a quantum particle know it's being observed? We simply scaled up that principle and added human innovation." She expanded the hologram, showing the meditation patterns that had helped shape space-time. Your species separated consciousness from physics. We unified them. The council chamber erupted in debate. Species that had evolved over millions of years found themselves confronting a fundamental challenge to their understanding of reality. Humanity hadn't just solved an impossible problem. They'd done it by proving that reality itself worked differently than the council had always believed. Back on the Quantum Dawn, Admiral Chen received Tanaka's quantum encrypted update. "They're scared," Tanaka's message concluded. "Not of our technology, but of how we think." Chen understood. The council races had achieved their advancement through careful, logical progression. Humanity's leap from primitive species to one that could reshape space-time through a combination of consciousness and quantum mechanics threatened their entire worldview. "Admiral," Lieutenant Rodriguez interrupted her thoughts, "we're detecting unusual activity from the Council observation fleet. They're scanning our ships with frequencies we've never seen before." Chen nodded. "Of course they were. Let them look. Activate protocol mirror." Throughout the human fleet, AI systems began feeding the Council's scanners carefully curated data. Let them see the technical specifications of the quantum resonators. Let them study the meditation patterns. They still wouldn't understand. Dr. Tanaka was right. Chen mused to her bridge crew. "They're looking for technology they can understand and classify. They don't realize that our real breakthrough wasn't the hardware, it was changing how we think about reality itself." The Council's investigation continued for weeks. Their finest scientists examined the Lightbridge network from every angle, trying to reverse engineer humanity's achievement. They studied the quantum resonators, analyzed the meditation patterns, and even attempted to replicate the consciousness technology interface. What they couldn't replicate was the human factor, the ability to make intuitive leaps that defied conventional logic, to combine seemingly unrelated concepts into something revolutionary. In her quarters aboard the Quantum Dawn, Chen reviewed reports from Earth. Humanity wasn't standing still. The insights gained from the Lightbridge project were already spawning new innovations. Quantum consciousness interfaces were being adapted for everything from medical treatment to space exploration. "They think we've shown them our greatest achievement," she told her senior staff. "They don't realize we're just getting started." The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A junior consciousness researcher, working with an experimental AI, discovered that the meditation patterns used in the Lightbridge could be modified to create stable quantum tunnels through spacetime, not just for communication, but for instantaneous travel between any 2 points in the universe. When Tanaka presented this finding to the Council, the reaction was immediate and dramatic. The Orcsian's crystalline form actually cracked, a sign of extreme emotional distress in their species. "You cannot," the Nexus declared. Its constellation pattern chaotic. Such technology would destabilize the entire galactic order. "The power to traverse space-time at will is already within our capability," Tanaka finished. "But humanity understands responsibility, as well as innovation. We're not here to destabilize the galaxy. We're here to help it evolve." She projected a new hologram, showing a proposed network of consciousness-guided quantum tunnels that could revolutionize galactic travel and communication. "We're offering to work with the Council to implement this technology safely and ethically, to help establish protocols and safeguards that benefit everyone." The Council chamber fell silent. The offer was both generous and strategic. Humanity was demonstrating not just technological superiority, but diplomatic wisdom. They weren't demanding recognition or power, they were offering partnership. Back on Earth, President Garcia addressed the global quantum network. "The Council races achieved their advancement through caution and control. We've shown them a different path, one that combines innovation with responsibility, consciousness with technology, intuition with logic." Chen watched the address from her bridge, seeing the bigger picture emerge. Humanity hadn't just earned its place among the stars. They'd introduced a new paradigm, one that would reshape galactic civilization itself. "They're still scanning us," Rodriguez reported with a slight smile. "Let them," Chen replied. Sometimes the best way to protect a secret is to show people exactly how it works, especially when they're not ready to understand what they're seeing. As the council deliberated, humanity continued to innovate. Each new discovery built upon the last, creating a cascade of advancements that would soon prove impossible to ignore. The galaxy was changing, and at its heart was a species that had gone from questioning their place among the stars to reshaping the very nature of space-time itself. The human factor wasn't just changing technology. It was changing the fundamental nature of what was possible. The quantum dawn sensors detected the Council fleet before it emerged from hyperspace. Admiral Chen watched as 30 warships materialized, their crystalline hulls bristling with weapons that could shatter planets. A diplomatic escort, the Archon's message claimed, though the threat was clear: to ensure the safe implementation of consciousness-guided quantum travel. In the 3 months since humanity had revealed their quantum tunnel technology, the galaxy's power dynamics had shifted dramatically. The Council's initial awe had given way to fear, then to something more dangerous: desperation. They're positioning themselves around our quantum resonator stations, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his hand steady over the holographic controls despite the tension. Chen nodded. As expected, initiate Protocol Firefly. Throughout human space, consciousness researchers and quantum physicists linked minds through their neural interfaces. They weren't preparing for battle. They were about to demonstrate why such thoughts were obsolete. Dr. Tanaka's hologram appeared on the bridge, her expression grim. The Council's trying to access our quantum network. Their technology's more advanced than we anticipated. Good, Chen replied, surprising her staff. Let them in, selectively. What the Council forces found when they breached humanity's quantum firewalls wasn't military secrets or weapon specifications. Instead, they encountered fragments of human culture, art, music, literature, philosophy, stories of humanity's struggles and triumphs, their fears and hopes. Admiral, the Archon's hologram manifested, its crystalline form vibrating with barely contained fury. Your species will surrender control of the quantum tunnel technology, or we will be forced to take action. Chen's response was calm. Look at your sensor readings. The Council fleet's instruments were detecting something impossible. The quantum resonator stations weren't just maintaining the tunnel network, they were changing the fundamental structure of space-time around them. What are you doing? The Archon's voice held a note of fear. Showing you why conflict is unnecessary, Chen replied. We're not creating weapons or defenses. We're restructuring reality itself to make warfare physically impossible within this space. The revelation hit the Council forces like a quantum wave. Humanity hadn't been building a military defense. They'd been fundamentally altering the laws of physics in their region of space. Weapons couldn't function because the very principles they operated on no longer applied. On Earth, President Garcia addressed an emergency session of the Global Quantum Network. The Council races achieved their power through force and control. We'll maintain ours by making such methods obsolete. In the Council's Grand Amphitheater, Dr. Tanaka faced the assembled representatives. Your scanners have already confirmed what we've done, but let me explain why. She projected a hologram showing the altered space-time structure around Earth. We didn't develop this technology to dominate or control. We developed it to evolve beyond the need for dominance and control. The Nexus's constellation pattern shifted erratically. You've created zones where our fundamental understanding of physics no longer applies. This threatens everything we've built. No, Tanaka corrected. It offers you the chance to build something better. She expanded the hologram, showing the potential applications of consciousness-guided reality manipulation. Imagine worlds where war isn't just outlawed, it's impossible, where consciousness and technology work together to create rather than destroy. The Council chamber erupted in debate. Some species saw the potential Tanaka described. Others feared what they couldn't control. But all of them understood that the galaxy had changed irrevocably. Back on the Quantum Dawn, Chen received reports from across human space. The consciousness network was stable. The quantum tunnels were operating at peak efficiency, and the reality modification fields were functioning perfectly. "The Council fleet is requesting permission to withdraw," Rodriguez reported. "Granted," Chen ordered. "And maintain Protocol Firefly. Let them see exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it." As the crystalline warships retreated, Chen reflected on humanity's journey. They had moved from proving their worth to demonstrating a new path forward for all species. It wasn't about power or control. It was about transcending the need for both. "Admiral." Tanaka's hologram reappeared. "The Council's calling for an emergency session. They're voting on whether to declare humanity a threat to galactic stability." Chen smiled. "They still don't understand. We're not threatening stability. We're offering a new kind of stability. One based on cooperation rather than control, consciousness rather than conflict." The quantum network hummed with activity as humanity continued to reshape their corner of the galaxy. Each modification to spacetime was carefully documented and shared with the Council races. Transparency wasn't just a strategy. It was a demonstration of humanity's commitment to their new paradigm. "They think we're showing them our capabilities to intimidate them," Chen told her staff. "We're actually showing them because the only way forward is together." As the Council deliberated, humanity's influence continued to spread, not through force or conquest, but through the irresistible appeal of a future where consciousness and technology united to create something entirely new. The breaking point wasn't coming through conflict, it was coming through transformation. The first sign came from a distant mining colony in the Centauri sector. A group of consciousness researchers, working with local alien scientists, had successfully created a small-scale reality modification field without human technology. They had used only their own understanding of the principles humanity had shared. Dr. Tanaka's quantum message reached Admiral Chen during the midnight shift. "It's happening faster than we predicted. They're beginning to understand." In the Council's grand amphitheater, the debate had shifted. The Archon's calls for containment of human influence were being challenged by younger species who saw the potential in humanity's approach. "We've detected 15 unauthorized attempts to replicate our consciousness technology interface," Rodriguez reported from his station on the Quantum Dawn. "All from different species, all showing promising results." Chen nodded, watching the quantum network's data streams. "Exactly as planned. Initiate Protocol Lighthouse." Across human space, quantum beacons activated, but instead of warnings or threats, they broadcast technical specifications, meditation techniques, and safety protocols. Everything needed to safely explore consciousness-guided technology. "Admiral," the Archon's hologram appeared, its crystalline form clouded with confusion. "Your species is freely sharing your most valuable secrets. Why?" "Because they were never meant to be secrets," Chen replied. "They were meant to be seeds." In her laboratory on Earth, Dr. Tanaka worked with a team of alien scientists who had accepted humanity's open invitation to collaboration. Their neural interfaces linked them into a shared consciousness space where ideas flowed freely across species barriers. "The quantum resonance patterns," a Proximian scientist observed, their crystalline appendages trembling with excitement. "They mirror the natural harmony of the universe itself." Tanaka smiled. "Now you're beginning to understand. We didn't invent this technology. We just learned to perceive and work with what was always there." The news spread through the galaxy like ripples in the quantum field. Species that had once viewed humanity with suspicion were now sending their brightest minds to learn. The Council's attempts to control the spread of human innovation became increasingly futile. "They're accessing the quantum network from 17 different sectors," Rodriguez reported. "The demand for training is overwhelming our current capacity." "Expand the network," Chen ordered, "and implement the new consciousness-sharing protocols. Let them learn from each other as well as from us." In the Council chamber, the Nexus's constellation pattern had shifted from chaotic fear to something approaching curiosity. "Your species," they addressed Tanaka. "You planned this from the beginning." "We plan to share," yes, Tanaka confirmed. But what's happening now goes beyond any plan. It's evolution. The quantum network was becoming something new. As more species learned to access and manipulate consciousness technology interfaces, they brought their own perspectives and innovations. The network was evolving into a galactic consciousness, transcending the limitations of individual species. On the Quantum Dawn's bridge, Chen watched the data streams with satisfaction. Humanity's greatest achievement wasn't in the technology they'd developed or the physics they'd rewritten. It was in showing the galaxy a new way forward. "Admiral," Rodriguez called out, "we're detecting quantum field fluctuations across all monitored sectors. The pattern matches the original Lightbridge harmonics, but it's growing." Chen smiled. The seeds they'd planted were beginning to bloom. Across the galaxy, consciousness researchers from hundreds of species were linking minds, sharing insights, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. "The Council is requesting an emergency session." Tanaka's hologram appeared. "But this time, they want us to lead it." The grand amphitheater was packed when Chen and Tanaka arrived. Representatives from every known species watched as humanity prepared to reveal the final phase of their plan. "We never sought to dominate or control," Chen began. "We sought to awaken. To show you that the barriers between consciousness and reality, between technology and spirit, between different species, they were all illusions." Tanaka activated a hologram showing the current state of the quantum network. It had evolved beyond its original design, becoming a living tapestry of connected consciousness that spanned the galaxy. "This is humanity's gift to the galaxy," she explained. "Not the technology, not the physics, but the understanding that we are all connected. That consciousness itself is the key to unlocking the universe's greatest mysteries." The council chamber was silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just changed the rules of physics or technology. They had changed the very nature of galactic civilization itself. "The question before us now," Chen continued, "is not whether to accept these changes. They're already happening. The question is, how will we grow together?" As if in answer, the quantum network pulsed with new connections as more species joined the consciousness collective, each bringing their own unique perspective, their own innovations, their own understanding of the universe. The silent victory wasn't in defeating the Council's resistance. It was in showing them, showing everyone, that there was a better way, a way that united technology and consciousness, innovation and wisdom, individual identity and collective harmony. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly what humanity had intended all along. 5 years after humanity's silent victory, Admiral Chen stood in Earth's new quantum assembly, a structure that existed simultaneously in physical space and the consciousness realm. Representatives from over 2,000 species filled the chamber, their minds linked through the evolved quantum network that now spanned the galaxy. To think, Dr. Tanaka's consciousness brushed against Chen's through their neural interfaces. They once thought we needed to prove our worth. The old Galactic Council had dissolved 2 years ago, replaced by this new form of collaborative governance, where decisions were made through a combination of logical debate and consciousness consensus. The Archon, once humanity's greatest skeptic, now served as a bridge between traditional species and those embracing the new paradigm. "We're detecting a new consciousness signature," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from his station, which now monitored galaxy-wide quantum fluctuations. "It's coming from the Andromeda Galaxy." Chen smiled. The quantum network's reach had extended far beyond their initial expectations. Other galaxies were beginning to notice the changes in the fabric of space-time, the harmonious resonance of unified consciousness reaching across intergalactic space. "Show them," she ordered. The assembly chamber transformed as Rodriguez accessed the quantum feed. The gathered representatives witnessed the first contact with an entirely new galactic civilization, their consciousness patterns exotic but somehow familiar in their complexity. The Nexus, who had once feared humanity's influence, now served as the primary translator for these intergalactic communications. Their constellation pattern shifted in harmony with the new signals, forming bridges of understanding across the void. "They're like us," Tanaka observed, studying the consciousness patterns. "Not in form or technology, but in their readiness to evolve beyond traditional limitations." In the years since humanity had shared their discoveries, the galaxy had transformed in ways no one could have predicted. The combination of consciousness technology and cooperative innovation had solved problems that had plagued civilizations for millennia. War had become obsolete, not through force or law, but through the simple fact that connected consciousness made conflict seem as absurd as fighting one's own hand. Resources were managed through quantum manipulation of reality itself, ending scarcity and the conflicts it spawned. Admiral, the Archon's crystalline form approach, now embedded with neural interfaces that allowed seamless communication across species barriers. The Andromedans are requesting full integration with the quantum network. They've observed our galaxy's transformation and wish to join the consciousness collective. Chen exchanged glances with Tanaka. This was perhaps humanity's greatest achievement, not the technology they'd developed, but the way they'd shown the galaxy how to transcend its limitations while maintaining individual identity and creativity. The network registers 500 new consciousness technology breakthroughs daily, Rodriguez reported. Each species adds its own unique perspective, creating innovations we never imagined. The assembly chamber hummed with unified purpose as representatives discussed the implications of connecting with another galaxy. But this wasn't the fearful deliberation of the old council. This was the excited collaboration of species who had learned to grow together. "We should tell them our story," Tanaka suggested, her consciousness resonating with memories of humanity's journey. Not just the technical achievements, but the philosophy behind them. The understanding that true advancement comes not from domination or control, but from unity and shared growth. Chen nodded, stepping forward to address the assembly. The chamber shifted, creating a space where consciousness and reality merge, allowing her to share not just words but experiences, emotions, and understanding. 5 years ago, she began, her thoughts echoing through the quantum network. Humanity faced a challenge to prove our worth. Today, we face a new challenge, to help another galaxy discover what we learned, that the greatest power lies not in technology or physics, but in the choice to grow together. The assembly resonated with agreement, thousands of species united in purpose while maintaining their unique perspectives and contributions. The quantum network pulsed with creativity, innovation, and possibilities that no single species could have imagined alone. As the first consciousness links with Andromeda stabilized, Chen reflected on humanity's journey. They had moved from a species struggling to prove their worth to one that had helped reshape the fundamental nature of galactic civilization. "The Andromedans are sharing their first impressions," Rodriguez reported, his consciousness glowing with excitement. "They say they've never seen anything like our galaxy's unified consciousness field. They're calling it a miracle." "Not a miracle," Chen corrected gently, her thoughts reaching across intergalactic space to touch the minds of their new contacts. "Just the natural result of choosing cooperation over competition, unity over division, growth over stagnation." The quantum network sparkled with new connections as the first Andromedan consciousness patterns integrated with their network. Each new perspective added depth and complexity to the galactic consciousness, enriching rather than diminishing individual identity. Humanity's greatest achievement hadn't been in proving their worth to the galaxy. It had been in showing the galaxy, and now beyond. That worth wasn't something to be proven, but something to be shared and grown together. As new consciousness patterns from Andromeda merged with their network, Chen knew this was just the beginning. The universe was vast, and somewhere out there, other civilizations were waiting to discover what humanity had learned. That the true frontier wasn't space, but consciousness itself, and the greatest adventures came not from conquering the unknown, but from growing with it.